What if the contract you signed to protect your soul after death was completely ripped apart by the very people who claimed to love you? Fred Astaire spent 60 years as the world's most perfect gentleman. But behind that effortless grace lay a legal iron fist. He carried a secret decree so restrictive that he literally took it to the grave, a hidden clause designed to ensure his true story was never told. For 6 decades, Hollywood complied, until now. To the public, Astaire was a vision of weightless elegance, gliding across the screen with a smile that made perfection look easy. But off-camera, he was a man consumed by an almost pathological need for control. He did not just choreograph his dances, he engineered them, dictating every camera angle, every costume fabric, and every shadow. And when he realized his time on Earth was winding down, he decided to choreograph his legacy from beyond the grave. During the golden age of cinema, Astaire famously demanded that his dance routines be filmed in a single unbroken wide shot, declaring that either the camera dances or he does. He hated editing tricks, refusing to let Hollywood use close-ups to hide mistakes. If he missed a single tap, the entire sequence was reshot, sometimes dozens of times, until his feet bled. This obsessive perfectionism was his core identity. So, as he watched his contemporaries have their lives sensationalized by greedy studios, a cold fear took hold. He knew that once his heart stopped, the vultures would circle to commercialize his life story, fabricating scandals and casting actors who could never match his physical genius. But what was the legendary dancer so desperate to hide from the silver screen? What secret was so potentially devastating that he built a legal fortress around his grave to bury it forever? To prevent this, Astaire wrote a devastatingly strict directive directly into his last will and testament. He requested, in no uncertain terms, that no film portrayal of his life ever take place. His reasoning was chillingly simple. He had no desire to have his life misinterpreted, which he knew it inevitably would be. Before he passed away in June of 1987 at the age of 88, he made it abundantly clear to anyone who would listen. He flatly stated that however much they offered him, and offers came in constantly, he would not sell. He believed his will was an unbreachable wall, a sacred contract protecting his name, his face, and his dignity for eternity. For years, the major studios didn't dare to cross that line. They knew the public backlash of defying a dead icon's final wish would be catastrophic, but they hadn't factored in the ultimate vulnerability of any legal empire, the humans left behind to guard the gates. That empire began to fracture from within, sparked by a controversial late-life romance and a shocking public betrayal. In 1980, the 81-year-old Astaire stunned his family by marrying Robyn Smith, a champion jockey 45 years his junior. When Astaire passed away 7 years later, he left his massive fortune and the absolute control over his likeness rights to his young widow. The gentleman's quiet legacy was suddenly thrown into a chaotic legal blender. In 1997, the world was horrified to see a digitized Fred Astaire dancing with a dirt devil vacuum cleaner in a national television commercial. The classiest man in Hollywood was being used to sell household cleaning products. Astaire's own daughter, Ava, was physically sickened, publicly accusing her stepmother of selling out her father's career to the devil. This shocking commercial sparked a brutal public feud that exposed the dark truth about who really owns a legend's ghost. Robyn defended her actions, claiming she was managing the estate to fund legal battles to protect his name elsewhere. She launched a relentless campaign of litigation, suing video companies, blocking unauthorized documentaries, and establishing an aggressive legal chokehold over anyone who dared to use even a few seconds of her late husband's film clips. Ask yourself, if you were in his daughter's shoes, watching your father's memory utilized for vacuum commercials while his true artistic legacy was locked away in a legal vault, would you have publicly fought, or would you have walked away? Tell me your thoughts in the comments right now, because this internal family civil war was only the prelude. The real threat to Fred Astaire's final wish didn't come from a vacuum commercial. It came from a modern Hollywood studio armed with a loophole so dangerous it renders any last will and testament completely useless. In recent years, Sony Pictures announced a massive, big-budget biopic based on Fred Astaire's life, casting Spider-Man star Tom Holland as the legendary dancer with Paul King set to direct. The announcement sent shockwaves through Hollywood. Film historians and purists were outraged, pointing directly to the explicit clause in Astaire's will. For decades, the industry believed that clause was legally binding, but Sony's legal team had discovered a loophole. How can a studio legally make a movie about a man whose will explicitly forbids it? The answer lies in a dirty legal maneuver that has left the industry stunned, and it's a trap any celebrity could fall into today. Instead of trying to license Astaire's life story directly from his estate, Sony bypassed the widow entirely by purchasing the rights to a published autobiography that Astaire himself had written decades ago. Because an autobiography's literary rights can be sold independently of a person's estate, the studio claimed they had a legal right to adapt the book, regardless of what Astaire wrote in his will. They argued that they weren't dramatizing his private life against his wishes, they were simply adapting a piece of historically published literature. It was a cold, calculated move that weaponized Astaire's own words against his post-mortem wishes. The widow, Robyn, was not about to let this slide. In November 2025, she fired off a blistering legal letter obtained by the media directly to the film's producer, Amy Pascal. The letter was a declaration of war. In it, Robyn made it clear that she had not authorized or granted permission for any portrayal of Fred in this biopic or any other film. She reminded the producers that Fred was explicit in his will that he did not want his life story depicted on screen, and warned them that if they proceeded, they would face a legal onslaught. She threatened to sue the moment a single camera rolled, wanting them to be very careful about implying she had endorsed the project. Yet, despite these devastating legal threats, the gears of the Hollywood machine are already turning. Rehearsals are underway, and the star of the film has just made a shocking public admission. In July 2026, Tom Holland confirmed that the Fred Astaire biopic is officially his very next project. During his latest press tours, he bypassed questions about his massive superhero franchises to reveal that he is moving directly into the dance studio. He stated his ambition is to perform every single dance number himself, with absolutely no stunt doubles, shooting the routines in unbroken, continuous takes to honor the physical style Astaire pioneered. While Holland's dedication to the craft is undeniable, his commitment to the role represents a direct, willful disregard for the wishes of the very man he claims to honor. The studio is betting millions of dollars that their legal loophole will hold up in court, prioritizing box office gold over a dead man's final, desperate plea for peace. Fred Astaire spent his entire life running from the vulgarity of the Hollywood gossip machine, seeking only to be remembered for the effortless perfection of his art. He built a legal wall around his legacy, believing that the law would respect his final wish to remain silent. But in the modern entertainment industry, even death cannot save you from the hunger of the box office. If a studio can use a legal loophole to resurrect the man who begged to be left alone, then no icon's grave is truly safe. Ask yourself, does a legendary artist's right to control their own soul after death outweigh our desire to be entertained? Whose side are you on? If you want to dive deeper into the dark secrets of old Hollywood's most powerful contracts, hit that subscribe button and check out the video on your screen right now.